All right, here we go. Hopefully I'm in focus. What's up, everybody? I bailed on this Q&A video last week, so I was really excited to get back to it this week and get out here and make this video. But as soon as I pulled into the parking lot, I checked the forecast before I left. As soon as I pulled into the parking lot, it starts raining. Like I said, 10% chance of rain. The trail gods just do not want me to make this stupid Q&A video, but I looked at the radar. There's a storm coming. I might get hit, but I threw a towel over the camera, and I'm gonna answer your questions if it. Very aggressive start to this video. Let's get into some questions here, folks. Number one, I was wondering about water consumption. What would you say is too little? I know everyone's different and situations are as well, but I've heard some hikers stretching up to 2 liters past 10 miles in the desert and didn't seem to have a problem. What's a Kyle rule of thumb when it comes to planning? How much do you want to fill up until the next source? Do you tend to indulge more than conserve, sometimes depending on the situation? Someone told me a good hiker can set up and sleep in a hammock in driving rain and stay bone dry the entire time. If you knew a long backpacking trip was going to be lots of pouring rain, would you use a hammock shelter? My answer to that is yes, assuming it's an East Coast hike or it's a trail that you are like 100% certain you will have trees to set that hammock up on. Don't take a hammock out west. I've heard bad things about people who try to go watch Tuts trekking on. He got f***ed over when he decided to bring a hammock on the PCT. But as far as the rain goes, on my Appalachian Trail thru hike, I used a hammock and I was definitely able to set up my tarp as the very first thing I set up. I kept it on the outside of my backpack, and so when it was raining, I could get to camp, I could set that tarp up before I even have to open my backpack and do anything else. And you know, once the tarp was set up, I was bone dry. So to answer your question, yes, if I was to do another thru hike, basically the Appalachian Trail, or I guess a shorter thru hike on the East Coast, and I wasn't preparing myself for West Coast hiking where I can't use a hammock, I would absolutely bring the hammock again. And I'm going to hopefully make one at some point in the future. What is the most difficult hike / section hike you've done? Basing it off of elevation gain, steepness, and how rough and rugged the terrain is. Ooh. Oh. I don't know if there's like a definitive answer to that. I'll just say a lot of the high peaks in the Adirondacks are really like rugged and difficult. You know, there's tough stuff everywhere. There's tough stuff in the whites as well. But I don't know, some of the herd paths, some of the unmarked trails on the 46 high peaks in the Adirondacks are like really tough. And speaking of 46 peaks, I just wanted to take a second to talk about what this shirt is, 46 Climbs, real quick. 46 Climbs is something that that you need to be involved with. If you like hiking and you care about mental health and suicide prevention, let me plug this charity. It's started by one of my buddies I met at school. It's a hiker charity focused around raising money for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. My fundraising team, the Kyle Hates Hiking fundraising team, #1 right now. We were #1 last year. Right now we're at $13,000. I'm trying to get up to $15,000 is my goal. I'm so close. There's only a little bit of time left, so go check out 46climbs.com, please. I'll also have a link to a video I did not too long ago explaining way more about it and what it is and all that stuff. Anyways, back to the question. Do you have any sort of warm-up routine in the morning before hitting the trail, or do you just wake up and start ripping the trail, dude? Honestly, that's what I do. I definitely should stretch, so like I will recommend that like to everybody. Like probably want to stretch a little bit in the morning or whatever. Actually, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Maybe don't listen to my advice on that, but I can speak to what I do personally. That's all I can speak to, and the answer is no. I do not have any sort of warm-up routine. Maybe I should. If anybody has any warm-up routines that they like, leave it in the comments and they can tell me I'm stupid. What is your #1 backpacking rule? Everyone has a different one. Curious what your opinion is. Major headache, that is a great question. And honestly, when I first saw this question, I thought about it for a really long time because I wasn't sure. But then all of a sudden I had a moment where it just clicked and I was like, actually, I know exactly what my #1 backpacking rule is. And it has nothing to do with gear. It has nothing to do with safety even. And it has everything to do with morale. My #1 backpacking rule, and this goes for a long thru hike and also just a short overnight hike, is to just make it a point to not get frustrated when shit goes wrong and make it a point to have fun. And that sounds like obvious, like of course, like, oh yeah, like go out there, like have fun. I mean, like actually like really think about this before you leave. Really make it a point to try to enjoy as much of your time out there as you possibly can, because the truth is, a lot of things can go wrong when you're backpacking, okay? Your feet are gonna hurt, you're anywhere in your body, freaking, your nuts might start chafing. You could run out of food, you could get sick of your food, it could freaking start to rain like it is right now. You don't wanna get flustered like I am right now, clearly, okay? I really mean this. My number one rule is to just do your absolute best to enjoy the time you have out there, to be thankful for the time you have out there. And I promise you, if you make it a point to do that, your experience is gonna be much better. I think that might be the most wholesome thing I've ever said, so I need to work in a lot of swearing and bullshit into this next one. Why do ultralight hikers always fuss over the smallest items rather than trying to cut weight in their big 3 setup? It seems to me there's a common thread among the UL community where people do a lot of unnecessary compromising on items that equal less than 1% of their total pack weight. All right, let's crank the tone up to all right, let's crank the temperature, the volume. I don't know what the I'm saying. I'm gonna call bullshit on that. To be honest with you, I personally have not noticed a trend of ultralight hikers fussing over the tiny things, but then using like really heavy gear for like their tent and their sleeping bag and stuff. Like, it seems to me the only people, or maybe not only, but it seems to me that most of the people, myself included, that are fussing over like the really small items that barely save any weight have already gotten like a really ultralight big 3 setup. Like, they already have a fucking DCF tent, they already have like a really light frameless backpack, you know, like a super expensive down quilt or whatever it is. So I don't really know what you're talking about there. I was wondering how many pairs of shoes you went through on the AT. Did you meet people that managed to do it with 1 or 2 pairs? I'm sure it has been done with 1 or 2 pairs, but you know, it's pretty rare. I don't think it's very common, but I'm sure it's been done. Would not recommend it though, because you're either gonna be hiking in really heavy, uncomfortable boots that's the only reason they can last like a bunch of miles, is because they're like super heavy duty, or you're gonna be hiking in shoes that you should have gotten rid of a long time ago, and your feet are gonna be at risk of coming down with a case of really f***ed up feet syndrome, and nobody wants that. I went through 3 full pairs of trail runners, and I finished with a 4th pair that I only hiked like 200 miles on. Do you find the hard days, you know, wet, sore, hungry, fed up, etc., are among your favorite moments? That's a great question. Not really, no. I know there's like something to be said about, you know, taking bad experiences and kind of like romanticizing them in your mind. And you know, it is true, like often when you look back at hard experiences on the trail, you do kind of maybe have a better opinion of them just because you made it through and it turns out that things were okay, and maybe some of the pain and anxiety you were feeling at the time has faded and you've become stronger as a result. So maybe you tend to kind of, you know, look back on those experiences positively because of that. Man, I'm getting so deep in this freaking video. I'm killing it, dude. But truthfully, I certainly have some funny stories that I look back on from those shitty times, but I don't really look back on those moments and think like they were some of the best moments. No, but that's just me. What the hell do I know? Since you attract weird trolls like a bug zapper in Ocala, Florida gets mosquitoes, what are your top 3 crazy ass comments? You don't even know the half of it, Greg. Your comments are always great, but dude, I've gotten some f***ed up comments. I can't pick any right now, but I will say if you guys want to see some of the craziest comments that I get, go follow me on Instagram. Like, this isn't just a shameless plug. The reason I'm telling you to do that is because very often when I get really like weird, funny, like ridiculous comments, I screenshot them and I put them on my Instagram story. And I'm not gonna lie, people f***ing love those. Whenever I post one of those, my DMs just absolutely explode way more than anything else I've ever posted. So people seem to think it's funny. So go follow me on Instagram at Kyle Hates Hiking if you want to see some funny comments when they come in. You know, they're not constant, but I do post them whenever I get them. And yeah, it's funny. So go do it. Do you hate when backpackers say things like sleep system? That was so stupid. And water filter system. No, I don't. I do hate System of a Down though, because that band sucks. Aerials in the sky. Kyle, I did the NPT when I was 13. It was rough. I ended up in a boot in a cast. Oh no. I was wondering if you are a 46er. Yes, I am, as we already established. I was also wondering if you had any other fun hikes you like in the Adirondacks. My family has a house up near Lake Placid. Also, I just wanted to say hi. So yeah, hi. Well, Well, Charlotte or Charlotte, I'm not really sure how to say that because here in Vermont, we have a town called Charlotte, but everyone thinks it's Charlotte. Hello, how's it going? And fun hikes in the Adirondacks. The Cranberry hike, the Cranberry Lake 50, despite my really shitty experience on it, is actually pretty fun. So maybe go do that if you have the experience. Don't do it if you're not ready. Do some more research, but maybe go do that. Or maybe just do like the part of it that isn't a giant beaver pond. Muddy trail or rocky trail? Rocky trail, for sure. Is this what you thought it would be like when you started your channel? Dude, I had no idea what it was gonna be like when I started my channel. I didn't even know if I'd be able to get a lot of people to watch. I had a feeling I might. I had some confidence in myself, but I didn't know for sure. So I didn't really have that many expectations, and I'm very thankful for everyone who does watch, even though I make fun of you guys all the time. So screw you, but also thank you. If you could choose any OG YouTube hiker to go out on trail with, who would it be? Well, I already hiked with Syntax 77, you know, a year later, I'm still bragging about that, but I would have chosen him, but I feel like I can't choose him because I actually accomplished that. So let me think. I don't know, what's your definition of OG YouTube hiker? Shug? I honestly haven't watched a Shug video in years, but he's a fucking hilarious dude. I choose Shug. Is hiking a good first date idea? It depends. If you like the person, then absolutely not. But if you hate the person and you want to be miserable, just take them up like a really steep mountain, especially if they're out of shape. Can I say that? Probably not. And they will resent you forever, and you can be on to the next one, on to the next Tinder date. How many thru hikers go cookless? I don't know. Probably like not. I don't know. I don't know. I won't, that's for sure. Now's the time where I would normally plug my Patreon, but I feel like I shouldn't do that because I'd rather, once again, plug 46climbs.com. I'm wearing the shirt from last year because the one from this year is dirty because I just went on a backpacking trip and I haven't done my laundry yet. Also, my biceps look way freaking better in this one. Can you even see that? There we go. But anyways, check out 46climbs.com, link in the description, link to the other video where I explain it more in the description if you're curious. Thank you all so much. I'm gonna go jump in a river and then go home and edit this video.